If you've ever watched a movie and just lost it because the characters kept making the dumbest possible decisions, please, for the sake of your mental health, don't watch this video. Nah, I'm just kidding. You're about to feast. There's something lurking deep in the West Virginia mountains. People drive up for a weekend getaway, and they're never seen again. But I guess these college kids didn't get the memo. That's why they're out here in a blizzard, in the wrong neck of the woods, about to make every wrong choice possible. No one is getting out of this nightmare alive. This is just the first dumb mistake. Today, we're going to recap the story of the movie Wrong Turn 4, Bloodline. The story begins back in the 1970s, at a sanitarium somewhere deep in the hills of West Virginia. One cold night, the chief of staff, Dr. Ryan, is showing the new psychiatrist around the building, and they've just arrived at the most dangerous part of the tour. They're headed towards C, and the C stands for cannibal. It's where the hospital's most violent patients are kept, but Dr. McWade accidentally gets too close to a cell, allowing one of them to grab her hairpin, and that small mistake is about to cost them everything. That's when he introduces her to their most dangerous patients, the Hilliker brothers, a trio of cannibals with a rare genetic condition that prevents them from feeling any pain. As soon as they're gone, the brothers convince another patient to toss the hairpin over, and within seconds, they pick the lock and escape. Hearing a commotion, a guard enters the ward to check what's going on, but the moment he turns his back, the cannibals jump him and sink their teeth into his throat. Grabbing his keys, they let themselves out and begin opening the cells as they move, releasing the other patients before anyone can stop them. And it doesn't take long before the entire hospital descends into complete chaos. They strap Dr. McWade to an electroshock machine and pump her full of electricity until she's completely gone. As for Dr. Ryan, the boys chain him up with barbed wire to the holding cells and let the machine tear him apart in all four directions. Oh, sorry, man, but you brought this on yourself. Almost 30 years later, a group of college students meet up in a parking lot on the edge of a forest, planning to spend winter break at their friend Porter's cabin somewhere in the hills. He's already out there getting the place ready, but Daniel here is worried they might get stuck in a storm. Yeah, that's not a bad concern. Ignoring him, the others hop onto their snowmobiles and head straight into the mountains. It doesn't take long before Kenya realizes they're lost, but Kyle insists he knows the way.
You're lost.
No, I'm not.
You should be going left up there over that hill.
No, I've been to the cabin 100 times with Porter. It's right. I'm sure of it.
Trust me, bro, energy. Well, sure enough, they end up stuck in the middle of a blizzard with absolutely no idea where they are. But that's when one of the girls spots a building off in the distance. And at this point, freezing to death or walking into the unknown, yeah, they pick the building. Desperate to get out of the cold, they decide to take their chances and check it out. Biggest mistake of the night. The group heads inside and starts looking for any signs of life, but it looks like the place has been abandoned for years. It's not exactly a 5-star hotel, but compared to dying outside, yeah, this'll do. So they decide to get comfortable and spend the night setting up camp near the fireplace. The boys head out to find something to burn, while Kenya tries calling Porter to explain what happened. But of course, no signal. She tries again, still nothing. And just like that, they're completely cut off from the outside world. It's not long before the guys come back with firewood, and Kyle apologizes for getting them all lost. But that's when Vincent decides they should explore the rest of the building. Of course he does. My boy Daniel tries to warn him this is a bad idea, but nobody's listening. So they all head off to check the place out, while Bridget and Sarah stay back at the fire. Not too far from their campsite, they come across some lanterns. And these don't look old, they look recent. Jenna starts to get worried that maybe they're not alone.
No one's hunting in this weather.
Yeah, he's about to find out just how wrong he is. The group eventually arrives outside Dr. Ryan's office, and of course, they decide to take a look around. Inside, the desk is packed with old patient records, files stacked everywhere, all detailing the kind of cases you probably don't want to read before going to sleep. But Daniel gets curious and decides to take a few folders with him as they head back to the lounge. Yeah, that won't come back to haunt you. Meanwhile, the Cannibal brothers finally make it back home from their little hunting trip, dragging a body behind them. And yeah, that body, it's Porter. Looks like tonight's menu is already sorted. All you can eat. By now it's getting pretty late. And Vance mentions he saw some beds back in the patient ward that might be worth checking out. Because yeah, sleeping here sounds like a great idea. They haven't made it far before Kenya notices something. A shadow darting across the hall. She points it out, but her friends immediately brush it off. Probably nothing. Yeah, sure. So Vance decides to go check it out, because of course, he does. At first, nothing. Then suddenly, he screams and goes completely completely silent. Now everyone's on edge. The girls slowly move in to check on him, and then he jumps out from behind a curtain. It was a prank. Kenya is not amused, storms off while the rest of them laugh it off like nothing happened. Meanwhile, they're so busy joking around, they don't notice that one of the cannibals is actually watching them. And yeah, they're not going to stay hidden for long. Back at the fire, Kenya calls Vincent out for the constant pranking, so he offers to make it up to them by going to turn on the generator, alone. Great choice. He heads down into the basement, gets the power running, and comes back like he just saved the day. Congrats, you did one useful thing. Now with nothing to do but wait out the storm, they start messing around with the old hospital equipment, drinking the rest of the doctor's scotch, just having a good time, completely unaware they're being watched the entire time. Eventually, they make their way into the auditorium, where Kenya finds an old film reel lying on the floor. Daniel takes it up to the projector booth, not knowing someone was just there. Yeah, you might want to check your surroundings next time. He loads it up, starts the projector, and what shows up on the screen? Yeah, this is where things get real uncomfortable. It's footage of one of the brothers being treated with electroshock therapy, and not the controlled environment kind. This looks bad. That's when Lauren speaks up, saying she's heard of this place before. Apparently there were stories about insane cannibals locked up here, but the others, yeah, they're not buying it. Because of course, they don't believe it, not yet. Sometime later in the middle of the night, Vincent says he can't sleep and decides to go out for another walk. Yeah, alone. Promising Jenna he won't be long, he grabs a flashlight and goes wandering around the building, because clearly he didn't learn anything. As he reaches the nurse's station, he's surprised to find his buddy Porter sitting with his back to the glass. But when he asks what he's doing there, no response. That's already a bad sign. Confused, Vince walks up and taps him on the shoulder, only to realize he's dead. Yeah, this just got real. Horrified, he tries to run, but it's already too late. The moment he turns around, Sawtooth is right there and jams a metal spike straight through his skull. In the morning, Jenna starts to worry after noticing her boyfriend still hasn't come back. Confused, she checks with the others, but nobody has seen him since last night. That's when Daniel comes back with even more bad news, saying the snowfall is still too heavy for them to leave, so now they're stuck. For real. Figuring Vince will turn up eventually, they decide to have breakfast instead, but when they get to the lounge, their bags are gone. All of them. Now they're annoyed, assuming this has to be Vince pulling another prank. Yeah, about that.
Holy fuck!
So they decide to go look for him after all, splitting into two groups to cover more ground. Kenny's group heads down to the basement where they find a storage room full of old tools, and these are not the kind you use to fix anything. They eventually make it to the high security cells, but there's still no sign of Vince or their supplies. Meanwhile, upstairs, the others reach the nurse's station and notice a blood stain on the glass. And just like that, they know something's wrong. They try to regroup, but with no luck, they split up again, each taking a hallway on their own. Just keep doing that. I am sure that always ends well. Jenna turns a corner and finds herself in the kitchen, and this is where everything goes bad. Sawtooth walks in from the other side, carrying Porter's body over his shoulder, forcing Jenna to hide behind a rack of shelves. Terrified, she can't do anything but watch as he drops the body onto a table and starts hacking it apart with a meat cleaver. Like this is totally normal. Nothing to see here, just Gordon Ramsay doing his thing. Then Three Finger walks in and pulls him away for another job, giving Jenna a chance to escape while they're distracted. But yeah, whatever they've got planned next, it's about to get worse. The others have already started to figure out that something isn't right by the time Jenna comes running into the auditorium, panic written all over her face. But before she can even explain what happened, one of the cannibals throws a gift out from behind the stage. It's their friend's jacket, and when they open it up, yeah, Porter's severed head is inside. Everyone freezes, completely distracted, and that's when Claire accidentally steps back right into a trap. Before she can even react, a barbed wire chain wraps around her neck, and she's yanked up toward the balcony. Kyle rushes in, grabbing her legs, trying to pull her back down, but he's only making it worse. They can't do anything but watch as the wire digs deeper and deeper until it cuts straight through her neck, dropping her body to the ground. Yeah, there was no saving that. I guess we just found the dumbest members of the group, because how on earth did you think pulling on her legs would make make things better. At this point, the only logical explanation is that he caught her cheating and decided to use this as the perfect opportunity to end things permanently, because nobody can be that stupid. And the craziest part is that he actually gets even dumber as the movie goes on. Just watch. The others panic and run out of the room while Kyle struggles to get back up. He catches up with them outside where they're trying to start the snowmobiles, but of course, the cannibals already got to them. So yeah, they're not going anywhere fast. That's when Lauren gets an idea. She notices her skis are still there and decides she's heading for town alone. Promising to send help if she makes it, she takes off into the forest. The others aren't convinced this is a good idea, but she's already gone. And now, they're even fewer. With no other option, the rest head back inside and make their way to the doctor's office, deciding to barricade themselves in. Some of them start searching for anything they can use as weapons, but there's still one question. Stay inside or risk the storm? That's when Daniel finds the brothers' files and finally connects the dots. These people were once patients here, and all three of them are violent cannibals. So yeah, this just got very real. Now finding weapons isn't optional anymore. It's survival. Kyle suggests checking the old storage area down in the basement, but there's one small problem. The cannibals are still out there. And at this point, some of them are already thinking they're not making it out alive. But Kyle pushes anyway, guilt-tripping Daniel into going with him. And Sarah decides she's coming too, leaving the others behind to hold things down until they get back. Yeah, let's see how that goes. Kyle's group hasn't made it far before they hear someone cackling from the other end of the hall. Yeah, that's never a good sign. They turn around and there's Three Finger, sprinting straight at them with a giant axe. So yeah, that little fire poker, not gonna cut it. They take off running toward the storage area, barely making it inside before slamming the door shut and hiding behind piles of old junk, trying not to make a sound. Their only option now, wait it out. Pray he leaves. After a while, silence. So they grab whatever weapons they can find and start heading back to the office. Kyle leads the way, but Daniel spots a better axe and stops for just a second to grab it. Yeah, that 1 second just cost him everything. As he's running to catch up, he gets grabbed from behind and dragged away before anyone even notices he's gone. The cannibals take him straight to the kitchen, chain him down with barbed wire wrapped tight around his body. And yeah, this is where it gets bad. Back at the office, the others don't even realize he's missing at first until Kyle finally notices. He immediately wants to go back for him, but Bridget shuts that down fast, convinced it's already too late. And then they hear it. Daniel screaming for help. At first, they can't tell if he's hiding or if something worse is already happening. But then the screaming gets louder, more desperate, and now they know. Kenya says they have to go. They have to try something. But Bridget is still hesitating. And while they're standing there, arguing, the cannibals are already cutting into Daniel, slicing off pieces of him right in front of him. Yeah, every second they waste makes it worse. By the time they finally decide to move, it's already too late. I think it's fair to say Daniel's time on God's green earth is pretty much over. There's nothing more we can do for him, not with his so-called friends moving this sus. At this point, he doesn't need enemies. He's already surrounded by idiots. As they reach the lower level, they realize the cannibals could be anywhere, so Kyle decides to check the kitchen while the others head toward the cells. The closer he gets, the louder the screaming becomes, until he turns the corner and sees everything. The cannibals standing over Daniel, cutting off a massive piece of his leg. And yeah, this isn't something you unsee. Kyle freezes, panics, and then does the one thing you're not supposed to do. He backs away, leaves him there, doesn't even try to stop them. At this point, yeah, there's no saving Daniel anymore. Traumatized, Kyle goes racing back to the others, and yeah, he's got some very bad news. But Kenya, she's not trying to run anymore. She's done. She says they need to fight back before these creeps kill everyone. So she comes up with a plan, tells Jenna to take a lantern and wait near the hallway leading towards C while she and the others storm the kitchen. Back in the kitchen, One Eye is literally choking on one of Daniel's fingers. Let that sink in. His brothers rush over to help him, and that's the opening. Kyle sneaks up and smacks Sawtooth with a fire extinguisher as the girls rush in behind him, pushing the cannibals straight toward Jenna's setup. The moment she sees them, she smashes the lantern on the the ground. Whoosh! Fire spreads instantly, blocking their escape and forcing them down toward the cells. Now, it's a full chase. They keep the pressure on, driving them back, step by step, until there's nowhere left to go. Right back into the same cell they escaped from 30 years ago. Yeah, full circle. Now Kyle's thinking, end it. Kill them while they have the chance. He's ready to light them up, finish it right here. But Kenya steps in, talks him down, convinces him to spare them. Kyle, my guy, you're telling me you're gonna leave this monster alive? You're telling me that after these people literally ate your friend alive, you're just gonna let her talk you out of ending it right here? Come on. You know she's the one with all the plot armor. Me? I would have had them smoking, straight to medium rare. But hey, that's just me, I guess. Frustrated, the others ask what now, and Kenya says they should search the building for the missing snowmobile parts. So they split up, room by room, while Kyle stays behind to guard the cannibals. Hours pass. Nothing. No parts, no progress. The girls are exhausted, decide they need rest. And Kyle, yeah, he's getting sleepy too. The moment he closes his eyes, Three Finger pulls out that same hairpin. Yeah, the one from earlier. Remember that? And uses it to unlock the cell. Told you. Before Kyle even realizes what's happening, Sawtooth knocks him out. Game over. Wow, we are really spoiled for choice here. I honestly don't know which is dumber, showing mercy to a bunch of cannibals or falling asleep on the one job you had. Kyle, pick a struggle. You had one responsibility, one, and you still managed to mess it up. And if I remember correctly, I told you this guy wasn't done screwing around. Turns out I was being nice. Sometime later, Kenya decides to check on him, heads down to the basement while Sarah locks the door behind her. But when she reaches the cell block, this is not good. Terrified, she runs back to the others and tells them everything. Now they're done taking chances. Decide to stay put in the office and escape first thing in the morning. But then, footsteps. Right outside the door. Kenya shines her flashlight through a hole and sees it. A bloodshot eyeball staring right back at her. They freeze, thinking it's one of the cannibals, but he's not attacking. And that gives them an idea. They decide to rush him, take him down while they have the numbers. Looky here. Holy mother over here finally decides to turn savage, and not a moment too soon. So now you want to stab somebody? After all that we shouldn't kill them? After all that mercy speech? This is when you decide to grow some balls? Kenya, pick a side. You know you messed up. When the killers don't even have to do the killing themselves, yeah, they just killed Kyle. This is so fucking embarrassing. Horrified, the girls finally understand what just happened. Kyle couldn't even warn them because the cannibals cut out his tongue. Yeah, that's why he couldn't speak. And just when that realization hits, they hear laughter. One of the brothers, somewhere in the shadows, laughing at them. Yeah, they've been playing with them this whole time. So they run straight back toward the doctor's office. But out of nowhere, the cannibals jump out and cut them off, forcing the girls to change direction and sprint for the front door. Freedom, right? Yeah, no, it's chained shut. Now, they've got no choice but to keep moving. So they bolt upstairs all the way to the attic without running into anything. Too quiet. And then it clicks. They're not safe. They're in the cannibal's lair. Clothes, belongings, everything taken from previous victims just lying around. Yeah, this is bad. They grab whatever jackets they can find because freezing to death is still very much on the table, then quickly move on, trying to find any way out. Eventually, they manage to barricade a hallway with a wooden plank and start searching for a window. Most of them are sealed shut, until Sarah finds one that's rusted. This might be it. They start forcing it open, but then, bang! The door behind them starts shaking. The cannibals found them. Now it's a race. Sarah smashes the glass, starts digging through the snow outside, literally carving a tunnel with her hands while the others hold the line. The door is about to break any second. Finally, she breaks through. Fresh air. She makes it outside and calls for the others to follow. Bridget goes first, then Kenya, and now Jenna's turn. But that's when the door explodes open. Jenna scrambles into the tunnel, almost there, and then the snow starts collapsing. Kenya doesn't even think. She dives back in to help her. Jenna makes it back through the window, and right at that moment, Sawtooth charges in and drives a massive drill straight through her back, covering Kenya in blood and guts. She screams for the others to pull her out because she knows there's nothing left to do. So they run as fast as they can away from the building, not even looking back. But it doesn't take long. The cannibals found the snowmobile, and yeah, in deep snow, you're not outrunning that. Within seconds, they're surrounded. The cannibals circle them, doing donuts, closing in slowly. Nowhere left to go. After messing with them for a full minute, the cannibals suddenly disappear. Yeah, just like that. And that's somehow even worse. But the girls don't wait around. They run. This is their chance, their only chance. But before they can get far, Sarah suddenly stops. drops. She wants her weapon back. Yeah, at a time like this. So she splits off, runs back to the attack site, starts digging through the snow. What? A fire poker. You mean to tell me you put yourself in a vulnerable position by splitting up just to go grab a fire poker? My God, now I have seen everything. There are literally tons of big sticks back there. Sticks that could seriously fuck someone's day. But no, you choose this, a fire poker. My God. Stars need to explain to me how is she, the same person playing the deadly gladiatrix in House of Asher, and also this college kid's nightmare fuel. Same face, same intensity, same I will destroy you energy.
Same, but different. But still same.
Here she is, making a fire poker look like a lethal weapon. My God. And right when she's gone, the engines come back. Kenya hears it first, tells Bridget to get down, but panic takes over. Bridget runs. Worst decision she could make. Within seconds, one of the cannibals grabs her, starts dragging her across the snow. She fights back, pulls out a knife, stabs Sawtooth in the arm over and over until he finally lets go. For a second, it works. But as he loses control, he crashes straight into a tree branch, knocking himself out cold. And just when it looks like she might actually escape, she screams. Sarah hears it from a distance, drops everything and runs toward the sound, but she's too late. Where is your mighty fire poker now, Sarah? One Eye has already caught Bridget, pins her under the tread of the snowmobile, and starts revving the engine. There's no saving her. By the time Sarah gets there, it's over, completely. And now she's alone, again. So she turns back, goes to find Kenya before the others get to her too. Morning comes, and the storm finally settles. Lauren never made it. Her body is frozen, just a few feet from the highway. She was that close. Meanwhile, Kenya stumbles into an open field, injured, exhausted, calling out for anyone, but instead, one of the cannibals coming straight for her. She panics, runs toward a pile of snow, and then Sarah bursts out from hiding, slams a tree branch into One Eye. Yeah, this was their plan. Looks like Sarah finally learned a big stick is way better than a fire poker. They don't wait. They run for the road. Freedom finally in sight. And then Kenya sees something ahead. Way too late. In the end, nobody survived. And honestly, I would have been pissed if this girl, the one who cost her friend their life, had somehow made it out after making so many bad decisions. Looks like her plot armor finally ran out. Everything is finally right in the world. These kids were hopeless from the start. There's nothing you can do when you've got a group of friends this dumb. Moral of the story? If you're going snowmobiling through the mountains of West Virginia, you might want to bring a map because out there, getting lost is the last mistake you'll ever make.
Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when we drop more videos like this. Thanks for watching.